Welcome to the Boom Boom Room, y'all, where there's no topic too big or small, but we talk about it all. Hey everyone, welcome back to another episode of the Boom Boom Room. I'm Ashes. I got a special show today. There's this guy here. I've been after him for a while. He's been on my hit list of people I've been wanting to have on the show. I'm a big fan of his, and he's a content creator on YouTube. Everybody knows him, Spartan-85. And
hello.
Anyway, without further ado, how you doing, Spartan?
Dude, I'm doing great, and thank you for having me on this. And I know you've been hitting me up for a couple weeks and scheduling and all that stuff. And but no, thank you for doing this. I love hopping on and doing this. And I could talk YouTube and 7 Days to Die, and like we just talked about cryptids. I could talk that for hours. So we'll try to keep it within an hour. We'll try. Yeah,
we'll try. But before we get started, Spartan, tell people where they can find you.
Yeah, sure. I've been on YouTube now I missed my 5-year anniversary. Like I did my 5-year anniversary in March, and I totally missed doing anything. So I've been doing YouTube in March, it'll be 6 years. You can find me on Spartan-85. You can find me on Twitch, Spartan-85 Gamer. I'm on TikTok too, but I don't really do much with it, honestly. But yeah, YouTube mainly, Spartan-85. So
Roger that. But I know sometimes we get busy in real life, and it's hard to, because there's things I've had to reschedule, and I understand that, but I do appreciate you coming on here. And
yeah, likewise, man.
And
likewise. Thanks for having me.
I admire your channel. I like the way you present things. You're not, I'm overly excited, but you're just the right blend of, you know what I mean? I just, you know what I mean? You're not, you're chill, but you're not too chill.
See, sometimes I feel like I get too excited. Like sometimes when I'm editing, I'm like, man, I was screaming into my mic, and it's like, I need to calm the heck down, and sometimes I get so flustered. But I think playing some of these mods that I've been playing for so long now, like Asylum and Darkness Falls, and then you go back and play Vanilla, and it's like, oh, this is kind of a chill game. Like this, and we're talking about 7 Days to Die, but you go back and it's like, wow, this is kind of a chill, relaxing game. I'm not getting like chased by 30,000 HP demons or something,
Yeah, so. It is nuts. But before we get talking about 7 days, I guess and stuff. But how did you get starting being a content creator? I mean, what inspired you to do that?
Man, that's a great question. And I when I used to work, I was a police officer for about 16 years, 14 years, I don't know. And I worked midnights for a lot of it. And so a lot of midnights, you're kind of waiting for the next call to come in. And so I started passing the time kind of watching YouTube, and watching, like, I kind of went down a rabbit hole. I came across Skippy. I came across Cage 848. I came across Glock 9. And I had bought 7 Days to Die at a GameStop for like $20. I bought it for the PS4 version. And I played it. I hated it. I couldn't stand it. And so I started watching YouTube videos of like Glock 9 and like I said, Cage and Skippy. And I was like, man, this is cool. Like, I really like watching people doing Let's Plays. Like, I really like, hey, day 1, day 2. And I'm like, I kind of wouldn't mind doing that myself. I already play the game and I already talk to myself. Why not just record myself doing it, Yeah. And so, yeah, it was right before COVID. I kind of started buying the stuff. I bought a capture card. I bought a cheap Amazon mic for like $20, and my first video is still up. If anybody wants to go watch that, it's still up. It's super raw. You can hear the controller clicking in the background. I was literally sitting on my bed with my laptop in front of me and the mic falling over constantly on the bed. But no, I just like, hey, I wanted to do that. And then kind of COVID hit, and I was forced to work from home with the job I had. And so I had a little more time to like kind of edit and, come up with content. And then I just kind of said from then on, I'm going to do this. And it started as a hobby. It started as kind of like, I'm going to do this. And then I got really hooked into video editing. I really kind of enjoyed the editing, the grind of editing, starting with a raw video and then seeing the finished product at the very end. I kind of got hooked in video editing, and it still is a hobby to me. I still view it as a hobby. It's more of a side gig now that can earns money. But I always try to, I always try to go back if I start getting burnout, if I start getting, to the point like, why am I doing this? I always go back and I tell myself, hey, this is a hobby, dude. Like, this is a hobby. This is how you burn stress. This is how you burn, you lock yourself away for an hour, you play a video game, you edit, and you get to talk with other people and stuff like that. So I try to view it as a hobby, but that's how I got started, man. I mean, just watching other people and just deciding one day I wanted to do it myself, you know, and here I am 6 years later.
Yeah.
So,
well, I mean, how was your growth? I mean, for 6 years, did you because I haven't been following you that long, to be honest. I've been watching you about a year on and off.
Sure.
And you know how it is when you're a content creator, it's hard to watch everybody else when you're doing your own thing. But I try to stop by and lurk and do that. But
absolutely.
The first year, did you get a lot of subs? The second year? I mean, when did you say, well, man, maybe this is my thing?
Yeah, that's a good question. The first video I ever put out, I put it out and then I put out a second video after that. And I kind of stepped away for a minute because I was like, I didn't really know what I wanted to do at the time. And honestly, I discovered the PC version of 7 Days to Die, and I decided I kind of wanted to make content for that instead of the console version. But that first video just sat there and just continued getting views. I didn't promote it. Actually, I take that back. I did promote it on Facebook a little bit in some 7 Days to Die groups, but I didn't really promote it. It just sat there and kept getting views. And I didn't know anything about the algorithm then. I had no idea how to make a title. I had no idea how to make a description. I just put the video out there, and it was a super basic title, like 7 Days to Die, getting started day one, something like that. It just kept getting views and it kept getting comments. And I actually jumped over to Twitch for a little while. I got started in YouTube, and then I decided I wanted to be a streamer, and I actually live streamed to Twitch for, I don't know, a year. And that video just kept getting views. I don't know. Honestly, to this day, I couldn't tell you why it kept getting views. I think YouTube decided they wanted to keep pumping that video because the watch time was really good. Maybe it got a lot of likes. And so I came back to YouTube and just kept putting out content, but nothing did as good as that first video. I'd get 20, 30, 40 views on a video. And then I kind of decided, let's start making how-to videos. Let's start making how-tos. Let's start making, one of the biggest thing is like, be searchable. What are people searching for right now? So how to build a horde base, how to do this exploit. And I just kind of started doing those for a little while. And that's kind of when I quote unquote blew up on YouTube, if you want to say. I went from like 400 subscribers all the way, and I got monetized really fast. I got over 1,000 subs, and it just kept kind of growing. So that helped out a little bit. My biggest growth has probably been in the last 2 years.
Yeah.
It's really gone from like 8,000 subs to where I am now, 27,000, I think. And that a lot of that's just been, showcasing mods and stuff like that. But being searchable is really big too, being searchable. And honestly, embracing the clickbait. Sometimes you just got to embrace the clickbait. It's everybody else is doing it. Sometimes you just got to embrace a little bit of clickbait, that's helped me out a little bit too, but I'm not ashamed.
Yeah. Well, say if somebody was going to be a gamer on YouTube, what kind of advice would you give somebody?
I always go back to my tried and true of just be yourself.
Yeah.
Don't try to be someone else. Don't try to emulate your favorite YouTuber. Don't try to be whatever. Don't try to be anything. Be yourself. Be genuine. Because everybody's unique. Everybody, like, you're unique in your own way. I'm unique in my own way. My son's unique in his own way. So be yourself, because that right there is going to be a big selling point. And I think a lot of people really like to see just someone they can relate to. Someone that's like, hey, this guy isn't like 1 million subs, and makes $1 million a day. This guy is this everyday dude. I can do that too, and be yourself, but also, like I said, be searchable. Look at, let's say you play, I'll just throw a game out there. Let's say you play Conan Exiles. Google Conan Exiles. What is everybody, get on Reddit, see what people are talking about. What maybe they're talking about defeating a certain boss. something like that, and just go make a tutorial for that or something. Like, be searchable. But I think you've probably seen it. There's a lot of YouTubers, there's a lot of Twitch guys that start up, and they want to connect to everybody. They want to jump on all these Discords and jump in. They get to 300 subs and then they just kind of fizzle out and then they give up.
Yep.
And don't give up. And that's the biggest thing. Just keep grinding. Another thing, and I see this a lot, and I hate it, and it's so easy to do. Stay away from the sub for sub.
Yeah.
Just stay away from that.
Agreed.
Oh my God, because those people that are you getting to sub with you, they're not there to watch your content. They're there for you to sub back, and they want you to watch their content. So if you have 1,000 subs, but none of them are watching your content, YouTube is they're gonna back away from you like you have the plague, because you have all these subs and you have no watch time. They're going to view you as a bot account.
Yeah.
So really, now networking is great. Like me and you, we've networked together, and networking is great, but just really avoid the sub for sub. And I think that kills a lot of channels.
Oh yes.
You got these guys with 300 to 400 subs, and if you look at their sub list, it's all other creators. I mean, it sucks. You have to build your own little community, even if it's like 10 people.
Yeah.
You got to build a community, and I was looking around your Discord. You got a really cool community, man. Very diverse community.
You.
Like a lot of gamers, a lot of cryptid stuff. Yeah. And so like your community is like a perfect little showcase of what a great little community that could be. Like, it's very diverse, and so I think what you have is awesome. So,
hey man, I really appreciate that.
Absolutely,
from you.
No, I mean it, dude. I mean it. Like, I've been in a lot of Discord communities. I've been in a lot of communities, and it's like yours is really cool. So I like seeing what everybody's talking about in there and stuff. It's really cool. So.
Yeah, I appreciate it. The only thing I try to stay away from Spartan is on my gaming is religion and politics.
Yep.
You got to. It's sad. I mean, and I've said this every time I had somebody on here. The reason why I made this podcast is so I could talk freely. You know what I mean?
Yep.
And if somebody wants to talk about their Christianity or them being a Muslim or atheist, it's fine. Whatever. That's why I made this. I don't expect it. I didn't expect it to have this many subs. I started just maybe a year ago, and I done it just for fun, man. And and I don't have a lot of subs, compared to a lot of people that I know that's got podcasts, but I'm getting close to 300, and hopefully it'll keep growing. But I enjoy it. But when you talk about, and I agree with you 100%, starting out sub for sub and all that, but you got to realize what you want out of YouTube too, because I think that when I see a lot of people, and I know you agree with me, come on there, oh man, I'm going to give you big YouTuber and quit my job and make all this money, and it's sad to say, if it was that easy, everybody'd be going it, and I've doing it.
It's true.
And I've seen a lot of people burn out, man, and I don't know what you think about the 500. When you hit 500, you can get, super chat memberships. I'm kind of iffy about that, man, because I started 3 years ago when we had to get to 1,000 and
Me too.
watch hours, and I don't know. It's good in a way, and in another way, I don't know. It's just, I don't know what to think about that. But I'm not putting down anybody that's at 500, because I have a lot of friends, people that's got 500. But
hey, and I always view it too. Like, you think about 500 people in a room. That's a lot of people. I mean, if I go into Walmart and there's 500 people in Walmart, that's a packed Walmart. That's a lot of people.
That's right. Yeah, but it is. But but like I was talking about the 5, you got to get, what is it, 500 subs, and then how many watch hours is it? Like 3,000?
Is it 40? Is it 4,000? See, I had to get 4,000 hours of watch time. Within a year period, I think. But I had to have 1,000 subs. Now they've dropped it to, I think it's 500 subs. And maybe 1,000 or maybe 500 watch hours. I don't know. And and my view is, like, I don't know. Let's say you start a YouTube channel and you got to get 50 subs to get memberships. You still have to find people that's going to spend money on those memberships.
Yeah.
Like, it's going to be hard to get bots to buy those memberships. Maybe there is a way to get those memberships, but you're still like, so, I mean, I don't know why YouTube does. I know a lot of it is to combat the bot channels and stuff like that. But I don't know why they set their standards 500 to 1,000. I mean, especially for memberships. Like, I mean, let some of these smaller creators that are starting out get memberships to help maybe supplement some of the costs that they had to spend to create a channel. Because like I said, I bought a mic, I bought a laptop, and you know, I've invested thousands of dollars in this endeavor. So I'm sure a lot of the smaller guys starting out, they're going to dump money into it. And that's another thing I see, and I'm sure you see it too. A lot of guys start off and they buy the PC, they buy the mic, they buy the webcam, and then they're just angry that they're not getting the subs, they're not getting the watch time. Like, hey, I'm out here playing, why isn't anybody watching me? You know, why isn't it? And there can be so many different reasons why people don't watch them. Either they're just, you know, maybe their personality isn't very vibrant or something like that, or maybe there's an issue with the equipment or something like that. But and it's okay. Like, anybody that is starting out on YouTube, go watch my first video. And I'm not trying to pimp it out, but go watch it. It's a rough watch, but it got views. It did. And you don't have to be like Markiplier or Glock 9 or you don't have to be that right on day one. It's okay to have a bad mic for a little bit. Just make sure you upgrade eventually and stuff like that. It's okay to start off that way. You know?
I agree. You know what? Being a content creator is kind of like life, man. You got to find that balance and that temperament, and that's what defines your character. Because I've seen a lot of people, like you said, and I've seen them post, "I'm going to take a break for 2 weeks," and just angry, you know. And it's
nobody's watching my content.
Nobody's. I mean, you know, I hate to say it, you're being like babies, man. You know, and I hate to see when bad tribulations and stuff come up into real life, because you know that defines your character, how you handle stuff. But that's why I like you, because you're humble. You don't act like there's people that been streaming for years, ain't got as many subs as you, man. And you're doing good, you're doing right. And
thank you, dude.
You know, and everybody's, like me and Rob talked about it, I'm not everybody's cup of tea, you're not everybody's cup of tea. It's just like that, or we would be Mr. Beast or whatever if everybody loved us. But I think when you start a channel, it's what you want, and you gotta set you gotta do what you want and have good expectations, but you've got to, pace yourself. And when things is not right, go do the research, like you said.
Yep. And can you believe it? Different. I mean, can you believe that we're talking about getting burnt out playing a video game? But that's really what happens in this industry.
Yes.
Is like you have people that have played video games their entire life, and then now they're talking about being burnt out by it because they are strapping themselves with too much. They're just taking on way too much. And and I always bring up, there's a guy that was, and I've seen this a lot, but I always think about this one particular guy that was a Twitch streamer, and he was doing the sub for sub, and he's all like, I'll sub to you, you sub for me. And he'd stream and he'd have like 8-9 people watching every night. Well, he finally lashed out. He finally blew up, and he sent this big letter on Twitter, or X now, and he sent it out, and he goes, "This is why I'm quitting." And he was basically blaming the entire streaming community for not watching him, the content creators for not watching him. And it was really sad, and it really summed up a lot of what we see with, like, people starting on YouTube and Twitch, because they expect, I've watched you. I get on and I watch you stream every night for 3 hours, but you don't come watch me. You don't do that. And that's what I see, that a lot of that. And if people would just get out of that mindset, just hop on, play the game, have chat off to the side. If people show up, they show up. If they don't, they don't. But in the end, just have some fun. Like, play the game that makes you smile. And because that's what's going to make really good content is you having fun and then you playing the game and then you recording yourself. And I think I just, a lot of people just need to realize that, just step back and just go have some fun. You know, I had a buddy of mine, he stepped away just a couple months ago too. He stepped away and he's like, I don't know what I'm doing wrong. And I'm like, hey, what game brings you the most joy? Stream that tonight. Just go play it. Even if it's like some retro game, like Final Fight or something like that, or Double Dragon or Tecmo Super Bowl. Just stream that, dude. Have some fun, you know? And maybe it'll bring the joy back. I don't know, but
yeah, you gotta change things up, you know what I mean? And I got I'll be honest with you, and I got the mindset a year and a half ago. There was some content creators that I've known for a while, and I'd go watch them and like their stuff and comment, not to get sub for sub or watch for watch, but I thought that they would support me, and I got a little angry. I mean, I wasn't going to quit or not, but then I realized, hey man, it's kind of like the deal. You know, if you're a believer in Christ, or you know, doing to others and doing to you, you know, you gotta love people that are mean, and people that hate you, love them. And it's not really the same thing, but you've got don't worry about if they watch you and stuff. If you like their content, you want to support them, like them, comment, say hey if they would watch it, whatever. If they don't watch it, you know, but like you said, do not get in that trap sub for sub.
It's so easy to do. It's so easy to do. It's so tough, and I feel for those. I feel for those creators, because I mean, it is tough. Like, hey, I'm supporting these people. Why aren't they supporting me? You know, why aren't they doing that? And it's tough. It's so easy to fall into that trap, and it's easy for someone like me to sit up there and say like, oh yeah, you know, I don't have to do the sub for sub and all that stuff. Like, and I understand like a lot of people view, if I can just get to 1,000 subs, YouTube will push my content. But that's actually the complete opposite. If you get to 1,000 subs, but no one is watching your content, it's the complete opposite. You'd be better off having 50 subs and 10 people that watch your stuff regularly than 1,000 subs and 10 people that watch your stuff regularly, because YouTube's just going to view you as, well, yeah, we're not going to push this guy's content. We're just not going to do it. We're not going to, you're not going to fall into their little algorithm that, I still don't know anything about the algorithm, but does anybody? I don't think anybody does.
No, it's always changing, you know. And
it's always changing.
And before we get talking about, you know, what games you like in 7 days, I'll say this. I've noticed this, because you know, you'll see people with 300 or 400 subs, and I'll watch them or something, and they got 300 people watching them. And I think what YouTube's doing, and I'm not saying all of them's bots, and I'm not saying that, is I've noticed this. YouTube, I'll push, I guess maybe people that are asleep, or they'll recommend and they'll shoot people over to your streams. I don't understand it. What's going on? Because I don't
know either.
I got raided the other night from a couple people, you know. One's a good friend, the other one's, you know, I kind of know them. And I talked about this with somebody else, which I ain't gonna mention their name, but I know the one that rated me, good friends, was legit. They rated me 150 people. I had 40 or 50 people watching me. And then the other one rated me. I look over, I had almost 1,000 people in chat. And now, okay, I'm not saying they were bots, but maybe that one person maybe got rated. You know what I mean? Yeah. By a bigger streamer, I don't know, but you know, it was kind of weird. You know, I looked over, there's only 5 people chatting, and you know, and there's almost 1,000 people.
And I wonder if it's something like, sometimes like last night I did this. I streamed, and I redirected my stream to Wayward Echo. I said, hey guys, I'm gonna log off, but I'm gonna send you guys over to Echo. But I left my YouTube up all night. I went to bed and my YouTube was up, and I came back and it was watching actually someone I've never heard of play Ark. And it was just, I was in their live stream. So I don't know if it's something like people leave their phone or their PC up, and it just redirects to that, and maybe it carried over someone else's stream to your stream or something like that. I think
that's
the only thing I can think. That's probably why they weren't chatting. They were probably just up.
Yeah.
like the PC or the tablet, whatever, or even the TV, maybe.
Yeah.
It was just up and they're just not there, but you're still getting, hey, it's still view time.
Yeah,
That's still
that's
watch
true.
time.
I mean,
And,
I'm not going to complain about it unless
yeah.
I know legitly did it some kind of, something that ain't right. I'm going to cut it off.
Hey, if you're doing it honest, man, I think you're good. And there's people out there that are buying bots, but it sounds like you're doing it completely honest.
This Spartan, I'm like you, dude. I'd rather have 20 legit people watching me, and than have 300 or 400 dead people in there. And
absolutely.
Yes, don't get me. I'll take it. Don't get me. I'll take it. But I'm not. That's what I'm not about. I don't look over and hey man, I had 500 people in the night. That ain't what I'm about. I want to have fun, have a community, connect with people. You know what I mean? I just want to connect with people. I think that's what gives me joy, just playing, having fun, connecting with people, meeting people. That's in my YouTube journey. That's what I've really enjoyed about it is the relationships that I've, made through it. And
dude, I've made some of my best friends in life from YouTube. Honestly,
exactly.
Yeah. I'm a firm believer in karma too.
Yeah.
I really do think if you have the right intentions and you're a good, genuine person. And you're doing it for the right reasons, I really do think it'll pay off for you. It may not be in your timeline. It may not be the timeline that you want, but I am a firm believer that, like you said, like you're just there to have fun, build relationships, do that. I think all of that will come to you. I really do. I'm a firm believer of that. If you're out there just starting a YouTube channel and just trying to farm bots and stuff like that or whatever, or doing it all wrong, I eventually your channel will go down eventually. That's not my belief, but no, I think what you said is all the right reasons to do it. And,
but I'll ask you this. We'll start talking about 7 Days to Die.
Sure.
What is before we do that, what is your top 3 favorite games of all time?
Oh, we're going that route.
Yes, let's do that.
Okay. Man, that's a good question. I gotta say the Elder Scrolls series is like, especially Morrowind. I'll never forget. I played that game, which is Elder Scrolls 3. I played that game at a really dark time in my life. And I locked myself in my room and I played that game for hours and hours and hours. And, that was really the time I was a sports gamer for a long time. I played Madden, I played NASCAR, I played baseball, I played Techno Super Bowl, all that stuff. That was like the first adventure game I think I ever really played, except for like, the old school retro games and stuff. Like the first wow, you can play an actual story in a video game, a really good story, and I gotta say Morrowind is up there, Fallout's up there too.
Yeah.
That's one of my top games. So 7 Days to Die, probably I have the most hours invested in it. That's in the top 3. I have so many hours invested in 7 Days to Die. And that is a game I can go back to and just play.
Yeah.
I can just play 7 Days to Die and just have a great time. And and my other one I'll throw in there is probably The Witcher 3. I've never been talk about just being blown away by a video game. Just wow. I mean, CD Projekt Red, and they're coming out. I mean, Witcher 4 is a ways off, but I would go Morrowind, 7 Days to Die, and then Witcher 3. Not in any particular order. Those are just my top 3. Those are good games. Those are really good games.
Yeah.
So, and I really want to play Red Dead Redemption 2. I still haven't. My son's trying to get me to play it.
Oh man!
But I have a feeling that if I play that game, that might be in my top 3. If once I play it, I just have a feeling it'll be up there. Have you ever played Red Dead Redemption?
That's what I was fixing to tell you. I was going to tell you my top 5. It's
let's hear it, man.
Red Dead Redemption 2. It is. Okay. I'm telling you, it's probably one of the best storylines that I've ever played. And then I started playing online, and I've done a lot of that, and that helped my channel grow. Like a couple years ago. I've really enjoyed the online. But yes, you definitely got to play Red Dead 2. And I think another one would probably be Witcher 3. I was blown away, and I'm like you. Games is like music with me. You got emotions, and I played Witcher 3, and it was only like 6 years ago, you know, and I was doing a lot of changes in my life, and then I played Skyrim, you know, so Skyrim, that, and probably Fallout Vegas is probably
the best Fallout in the series too. Is Vegas. Oh my gosh. Oh my God, that's such a, and honestly, that might be number 4 for me if I had to choose. Fallout New Vegas. Go ahead. Sorry, I didn't mean to cut you off.
No, you're fine. No, it'd be Skyrim, Fallout Vegas, and Red Dead 2, Witcher 3, and gotta say 7 Days to Die, man. I know, you know, believe it or not, I'm new at 7 Days. I've only been playing it a year, you know. Yeah. And I tried to play it a few years back on the Xbox. I couldn't do it, man. It was just it's tough. You know, and I understand there's hardcore, you know, fans of the game. Sorry, that's my hardcore fans of the game, and my son, he's been playing. My son's 27. He's been playing ever since it came out, you know, and he's seen it evolved, and he's really, you know, he really loves the game, but he doesn't play it lately. But it's something about when I first played 7 Days to Die, you know, it's just, wow, I was blown away. You know, a year ago I got into it. Really, it's a hell of a game, man. I mean, what can you say? But I was going to ask you this. What do you think about the direction the Fun Pips got 7 Days to Die going right now? What do you think?
Yeah, and I'll say, but just before I say that, I'll say the reason I got into 7 Days to Die is I was trying to find a game that was like Fallout. That's the reason I got into 7 Days to Die. I was trying to emulate Fallout. But no, the direction, I mean, right now, have you played any of the 2.5 experimental that just came out on Friday?
Played it Friday a little bit. Okay. Yeah.
I think, me personally, I think what they have done with this latest patch is a step in the right direction. I really do. They, you know, 2.0 seemed like, and 1.0 and 2.0 did seem like they were trying to, you know, make the game as, what is it? I hate to say microtransactions, but DLC as possible. They were trying, that's, you know, they're trying to bring out third person. They're trying to bring out the new armors. That way they can sell you more armors. They can sell you this. And I think the writing on the wall is they've sold over like 20, 30 million copies of this game. I think they know they're getting to the end of the cycle for the game. How many more copies of this game can you sell? You know, how many more? They know that the end is coming. They have 3.0 and they have 4.0. And then after 4.0, they might be done with the game. They're going to install a story. What else can you do with the game? So I think they know we need to squeeze every dollar we can out of this game. And I don't fault them for that. If I was a company, I would do the same thing. They have to pay their employees. They have to pay their electric company. They have to pay rent. They have to do all those things. So, but I think they saw that, and that's why they made some of the decisions they did. They do have some games in the future that they're going to work on after 7 Days to Die. But I think as bridging the gap between the Fun Pimps, the developer, and the community, there's my hand right there, bridging the gap, this was a step in the right direction. I really do. So I mean, I played it for 4 hours last night, and I liked it. I liked it. Anyway, go ahead. Sorry.
No. You know, what do you think? Okay, if they would make another game, do you think that they need to stick with the formula of 7 days? Or, I mean, how would you picture, if you were there, if you were the Fun Pimps, what kind of game would you make? I mean,
well, I do know they are working on a quote unquote sequel to 7 Days to Die. Okay. And they want to do it in Unreal Engine 5. That's what they want to do. Yeah. Now, whether that's going to happen or not, I do think an Unreal Engine 5 7 Days to Die would be really good. I really do. I do also think they could, you know, the survival genre was good on them, but they actually did okay with the RPG genre. They just decided to try to merge RPG and survival a little bit too much when they already have a huge survival base. All their players are survival gamers, and they tried to bring in a bunch of RPG. You know, maybe try to do an RPG game. Try to do an RPG turn-based story game. You know, it doesn't have to be set in the 7 Days to Die universe. It can be all new if they want. Yeah. Do something like that. But that's, you know, but maybe something like that. Unreal Engine 5, 7 Days to Die, or just something completely different.
Yeah, yeah.
So,
I think that if they would just, even if they done a completely different game and how it's set up, it had the same mechanics, I would definitely play it. I mean,
yeah,
I
would.
survival and if it was zombies or but I think, like you said, they're going in the right direction. And played vanilla first, and then I went to the mods, overhaul mods. And,
the mods save the game. That's what a lot of people say.
Yeah. What do you, and because when you go to mods, it gives you a little time to rest from the vanilla, and then you'll want to go back to vanilla, which is cool. And that's what, like you said, saving. You could say whatever about the mod community, it's saving the game. But as far as mods, and you don't have to answer this because I don't want to put you on the spot, because there's people that I'm friends with some of the mod guys that created them. What's your top 3 overhaul mods have you played lately that you really like?
Yeah, I mean, right now playing the Asylum, and it's really good, very good, and it's so new and it's so raw, and it's so different. That's what I think a lot of people like about it. There's a lot of mods that come out and they're very similar to the other mods.
Yeah,
and so they're like, oh, okay, I've played this mod before. This one's new, so Asylum's up there. I love that the creator is putting out weekly updates. That is massive. And if anybody knows what goes into mod creating, I mean, there is a lot. You talk about, and now with 2.5 coming out, now they have to redo the entire mod basically because all the files are different. So they're going to have to go file by file and change everything. So the weekly updates is really cool. Let me think. So the Wasteland mod was a blast.
Yeah,
I had a lot of fun. That's a Fallout mod.
Yeah,
that's a blast. Yeah, that one's really cool. Of course, Darkness Falls is one of my all-time favorites. I'm also a big fan of, and I'll throw his name out there, Aramis. He's a big mod creator out there. But he did, he does Prepocalypse and he does Outback Roadies, and those are 2 really, really good mods that are just, there's hardly any bugs in them. They just play it. There's a lot of different content in them. And I'll throw out another one. I know you asked me for my top 3, but Izzy's gun pack.
Oh yeah,
blast! If you just want to play vanilla and keep everything vanilla, but you want more weapons, throw in Izzy's gun pack, and there is like hundreds of new weapons in that gun pack. It's really cool. But yeah, those are probably my top 4.5. How about that?
Yeah. Well, have you played the Wild?
What about you, man?
Have you played the Wild West mod? I think.
Oh yes, that's another one.
Yeah, he done that one too. But
he helped on that one. Rat Dog and I had a long playthrough last in 1.0 of Wild West. Wild West is a blast.
Yeah,
it's a blast.
To be honest with you, probably the Asylum, Darkness Falls, and probably the Wild West. But he made me some wagons. I'm Romney, I'm English Romney, or Gypsy I am, and he made me a Gypsy wagon, Armis, and put it in there.
There's a Spartan-85 POI in the Wild West mod too. It's it's like a hospital that has like all my injuries that I've had over the years. So
I did not know that.
It's pretty. Rat Dog's in there. Some of the other content creators that I game with are in there too, so you can find it. Also, a couple others that haven't been updated to 2.0 but are a blast are Escape from Tarkov, which I don't know that we'll ever see a new update to Escape from Tarkov mod. The creator of that stepped away.
Oh, okay.
So, but that's a fun one to go back and play in 1.4 or 5, and then the other one slipped my mind. But Escape from Tarkov is a blast.
Yeah, there, and I know Medusa. She's in my community, and she's got like a couple. She's the one that introduced me to Armis, I think. But they're great. They done a hell of a job. That's a lot of work, man. Doing all those mods. I can imagine. But I think that now I haven't tried Rebirth. I haven't tried that or the Joke mod.
Joke mod's fun. Yeah. it's surprisingly good. Like surprisingly, like it does a really good job with like just the background stuff, like the skills and the books. It does a really good job. Rebirth, I'm not gonna lie, and I'm not dogging the mod. It's just a lot for me. There's a lot to learn. There's a huge learning curve, and I need to sit down. Jean from Jean's Gaming took me on like a 7-day stream. I streamed for like 7 hours with him. Yeah. And he showed me the mod, and I was still really overwhelmed. But it's not a knock on the mod. It's more of a knock on me. I just need to sit down and learn that freaking mod. But it looks amazing. Looks really cool.
Roger. Well, I guess we can turn the conversation around and talk about, besides gaming, one of my favorite things that I like to talk about. And from looking in your background, I think you kind of like it a little bit too. So
yeah, just a little bit.
Yeah. Now, what does your community think about you being a fan of crypto?
Man. I think most of them just know that it comes with the territory. Yeah. I mean, my wife's name on YouTube, when she's the moderator on my streams, her name is Squatchy. So I mean, everybody I think that everybody just knows to embrace it. Like, you know, and I don't care if people don't believe in cryptids or not believe in cryptids. You know, it doesn't bother me. I just put them up because it makes me happy. You know, it makes me happy, and I've always been kind of enthralled with Bigfoot. But I think a lot of them, I like it. It's just part of my personality, you know, all this stuff up there and stuff. And this one right here, my daughter drew me that picture. And some of the stuff I go to like antique stores or like Hobby Lobby, and I just see these things. I'm like, well, I gotta have that for my wall. I gotta have it. Like, let's go.
Test where I got the hat, Hobby Lobby. You know?
I love your hat, man. Yeah, I love that. I got a couple of hats too. So
well, what got you into cryptids?
Man, that's a good question. For some reason I was always drawn to them as a kid. I think maybe just the, you know, being told in school that these don't exist, but then there's still literature out there saying they do. It's just, as a kid, that just sparks the imagination. Like, well, why am I being told that these aren't real? But there's videos out there that look like they're real. You know, it sparks a boy's imagination, you know. And I remember going to the school library and combing over the library for a Bigfoot book. And I finally found one and I read it, and I was like, God, I would have been in like 3rd grade. And that's the time I remember my mind really opening up to Bigfoot. I'm like, it's like, okay, you know, at that point I kind of decided I don't care if he's real or not. Yeah. But I'm going to, you know, make this a hobby of mine, and I'm going to, you know, do what I can. I haven't really gone on like any big excursions or anything like that, but it's just, you know, it's always been kind of an interest of mine. So
yeah, well, I mean, did you start believing in it immediately, or did you gradually?
I don't know. I think it was more of a gradual thing. You know, it was kind of one of those, like, because like I said, it's one of those things you're told in school. You're told by, like, you know, my dad is he's a very black and white thinker. So it's either 100% true or 0% true to him. So, you know, to him, he was like, well, that's not true. There, you know, it doesn't exist, you know? And so I'm more of a like, well, how about like, is it 50% true? That's enough for me, you know, like that's enough for me to start doing my own research. And, you know, to me, I think once I started thinking about, like, you think about how much of the earth is still unexplored, and you still think about like the Pacific Northwest, how much territory up there. Let's say somebody a wanted person decided to go to the Pacific Northwest and disappear. He's wanted by the FBI, US Marshals. He could disappear and not be found up there. Yeah. And why can't a Bigfoot be up there and disappear and not be found? You know? So that's how I kind of view it. I 100% believe, of course, but it was one of those things that I think I had to work my mind around it for a while. Like, because you're just being told by, you know, your dad, your school, like you're told by everybody else that it's not true. Yeah. And so you kind of have to work through it, you know? Well,
you know, I had a encounter I don't know if you've ever
Okay.
heard it. I won't. It's not really
I don't
a
think I
long
have.
story, but I've been a spiritual person my whole life, and I've been a Christ follower or whatever, and I've had a lot of supernatural things happen to me. But when this first happened, I thought it was something demonic, but this what took me down the rabbit, which I believe Bigfoot was an ape. Like an undiscovered ape, and I understand some people believe that, and then some people believe the woo side. Now, I'm the kind of that believe they're flesh and blood when they're flesh and blood, but they could not be, you know what I mean? I believe it's 50-50, but before this happened, and then that's what got me down the rabbit hole the last couple of years. I asked a lot of people, and they really believed this was a Bigfoot encounter I had. So it was 2011. I was in Oklahoma. I was married at the time to my second wife. But anyway,
sounds like a good story.
I was there's some woods probably about 60 yards from where I live, and our family kind of owned about a couple acres, but you could follow this woods, and it might get narrow at sometimes and wider, but you can follow it all the way to the Arkansas River, which 3 miles away is a Native American burial grounds. It's like 3,000 years old, but a lot of stuff happens around there. But anyway, it's about 3:00 in the morning. The moon's real bright. I remember that, and I was smoking a cigarette. I smoked cigarettes at the time. I was on my porch. So anyway, I started hearing something crashing through the trees. I'm talking about. It sounded like a Volkswagen Beetle or an elephant, but no engine. I mean, it sounded loud, because I used to go to I'll tell people all the time, I used to go to NASCAR races and funny car races. I've been to IndyCar races, and the reason why I said this is what happens here in just a second. Anyway, it starts crashing. I thought it was actually one of those side-by-side mules. I lived out in the country, hillbillies were all rednecks, people hunting or something. I did not hear an engine, and I still thought it was that. I still thought it was a big side-by-side coming through there. But I could see, like I said, it's maybe 50 or 60 yards. I'm sitting there, I could see the trees kind of moving and parting, actually moving. Well,
wow.
This probably the whole thing, as far as me hearing it until it gets to the opening, maybe 4 seconds. Well, it was crashing. It got to the opening, and I'm thinking, I'm saying, well, there's going to be a mule come out, side by side, an ATV or something. But it was way louder to be a mule or ATV. I'm telling you, it sounded like a small car. Well, when it stopped, I never seen it. I never physically seen it. And today, I would have did things different. But when it almost got to the opening, it stopped, and I'm looking, and it roared. And when it roared, man, and when it roared, it shook everything in my whole body, my heart, my stomach. I could feel it vibrating. Now, I don't know if it threw infrasound off or what, but I was just stunned, I remember, because it sounded like a lion. It sounded like a T-Rex, man. It was unbelievably loud. And immediately I thought it was something demonic, and because I've had demonic things, but I remember, I've told this story a lot. I opened up the door, I went inside, and I don't remember after that. I guess I went to bed. It's like I lost time or what happened, but that right there got me going. But I'm telling you, it was not a bear, because bears are rare where we live, and if it's black bear, and there's no way on God's green earth a black bear is gonna roar like a T-Rex, man.
Well, I don't think a black bear would come up to your house and be territorial like that either. I mean, they're more like, black bears are more like, I don't want to say like a rodent, but they're more of like opportunist. They're not going to approach your house and roar like that. There's no way. Yeah.
Yeah, and that right
That's crazy.
there, that got me going down the rabbit hole with Bigfoot. And like I've told you before we started, I've got a lot of friends in the cryptid community, and it's a hell of a community. People are really nice. Now they are divided, like I said, on the woo side and then the flesh and blood side, and I understand that. But what is your opinion? What is Bigfoot? What is your opinion on that?
Could I ask you right before I answer that? Could I ask you before 2011? Were you a Bigfoot believer?
I believed there was Bigfoot, but I thought that it was just an undiscovered ape out in in the woods. But
yeah,
I still kind of believe that. But yeah, I'm a believer now, 100%.
Well, yeah. So that instance, like,
yeah.
You kind of went from like, oh, he's out there somewhere to like, oh, he's there. He's there. Like, okay.
Yeah, man.
No, I mean, for me, I think he's flesh and blood. I really do think. I kind of go back to like the Native Americans and you find these caves in the middle of like, let's say Indonesia or China that have depictions of a Yeti creature. And then the Native Americans spoke about, and they have, they believed in Bigfoot long before we even came to this country. And, and then all that kind of stuff. I have always believed it's just always been there. It's just another species. Maybe it did come from an ape. Maybe it was just a species that has just survived somehow. Maybe the numbers have come down. And you read and watch about the people that think he's like an alien and he can shapeshift and he can teleport. I don't really buy into that too much. Now those people that believe, I'm totally for it.
Yeah.
I'm totally for it. And just like, people that believe in, the politics and religion, I agree with you. I keep those off my channel, but but whatever people want to believe, whatever side of the aisle they're on or whatever they believe religion wise, like I totally cool, whatever. Yeah. And so I kind of view it the same way. Like if people want to believe he's an alien or he's a shapeshifter or he's a government experiment gone wrong, whatever, I believe he's just flesh and blood. He's just out there trying to survive, doing his thing. I've always kind of enjoyed thinking that he's, and this is what I tell my kids, but I've always kind of viewed him as a protector of the forest. Yeah. Maybe that's a little too childish, but I've always kind of viewed him as, if you're going to come into my domain and hunt or hunt illegally, I should say, or do stuff, he's gonna protect it, or something like that. So I don't know. I kind of view him as that, but mainly flesh and blood is how I view him.
I really believe that 100% until the people I've met and become friends with that have seen it cloaked. They've seen come out of portals.
It's true. And it really could be. Yeah.
Just like Scott Carpenter, what he's, things he's seen. And the Cryptic Podcast is a good friend of mine. I told you, Daniel. And I'm a moderator for his channel. Now, he believes they're flesh and blood like you. But, he respects whatever, people think. And then his good friend, Josh from Mysteries Unknown, he believes they're, the woo side of it or whatever. He believes kind of like me, he might be the Nephilim, out of Genesis 6 or something, offsprings of angels. And like I said, it's not really throwing about the religion into it. It's just what you believe. And because I've had supernatural experiences, I've seen demonic entities and, that's why I think it could be on the woo side with Bigfoot. Now, like Dogman, what do you think? What do you think about Dogman? I've seen some legit pictures from friends that's captured pictures of Dogman, dude. Legitly.
That one's a little over my pay grade. Yeah. That one might be more on the, like you said, the woo side or something like that. That really might be. And that one's really interesting. The Jersey Devils always kind of interested me a little bit too. Yeah, that one. But yeah, the Dogman and there's lots of different iterations of Bigfoot, like the skunk ape and stuff like that, and the swamp ape and stuff. And I know those might be different iterations of him too. And maybe he's teleporting to different maybe he gets cold in the Pacific Northwest and he teleports to Florida,
Yeah.
in the winter. And he's like, I'm coming down here to sit on the beach for a little bit or something,
Yeah.
anything like that. I do have something that, I've only told a few people about this, and I've always kind of viewed it as just something that happened, but in the back of my mind, I've always kind of thought like maybe this was my encounter. I don't know, but I went camping in very South Missouri, almost like northern Arkansas, not far from you, but I went camping with a buddy of mine, and we used to do a lot of motorcycle camping back in the day. We're at a motorcycle somewhere, but this time we just decided to go backpacking, and we went to a place, we parked, we hiked about 6 miles to a campsite. It's way back in the woods. There's nobody else around us and stuff. And we got set up. We set up camp, and I was just in a little, backpacking tent. One person backpacking tent. He's in the same thing. He's in a different tent, and we had a fire going, and we ate. We had MREs for dinner, and stuff like that, and just having a good time. I remember sleeping that night, and I got and I was tired. Like I was really tired, and so I fell right to sleep. And I remember kind of waking up about 1, 2 in the morning. And I don't remember getting woke up by anything, but there was this noise outside, and I listened to it for a while, and I just remember these heavy, heavy footfalls.
Yeah.
And I remember listening to it. I'm like, well, that doesn't sound like a deer because I don't hear the 4 footsteps. I don't hear the click clunk, click clunk. And I've deer hunted before. I know what deer sound like, and it didn't sound like a bear to me, but I can remember the distinct heavy footfalls, and it really sounded like a person, but a really, really heavy person, like someone that was in, I'll never forget that. And it went on for a long time, and it got really close to my tent, very close. And, it like sniffed me out almost. I don't remember hearing the sniffing or the breathing or anything like that, but I'll never forget that. And it lasted a solid hour.
Wow.
And I didn't fall back asleep that night. I didn't, I'm just like, there is something outside my tent. And I'm not saying I'm not trying to jump off the deep end and go, oh, it was Bigfoot. It's got to be Bigfoot, because I think some people can do that. Like whatever, they see something moving in the woods, like, oh, it's Bigfoot. I think Bobo makes it more of a joke. He's like, oh, it's a squatch. It's a squatch, but I'm not saying that, but it was definitely, it was up on my radar of a possible encounter, and just the hair standing up on my arm. I told you I was a police officer. I've been shot at. I've done some really high risk things. I've done some things that most people probably never done in their life, as far as like high risk, putting my life in danger. But at that moment, I was terrified for my life. And I had a gun next to me. Yeah. I could have defended myself, but I was terrified at that moment. So that's probably my closest thing I have to an encounter, I think.
Yeah. Well, I mean, I think Bigfoot can put some kind of emphasis off to make you feel a certain way.
Dude, I think so.
And there's guys that's been in the LBL. I had a good friend. He went to the LBL, Land Between the Lakes, and done some research. Okay. And he told me, he FaceTimed me, and he's like, what are you doing? I said, man, you scared? He said, a little bit. Then he told me what happened, and he said, don't tell anybody, because the people he's with, was going to be on a podcast. But anyway, they encountered pale crawlers, man, come out of a freaking light portal. There was so many witnesses there, and this is a dude, ain't gonna lie, I know him. And they seen some, they had thermal. They picked up images on the thermal. And I've seen a few images that people that are legitly, that one looked like a, not the one he had, but one before that's legitly, it looked like Dog Man with a child that was holding a child. I mean, that LBL, man, there's a lot of stuff goes on at LBL, at Land Between the Lakes. I mean, it's infamous for stuff like that. But,
and there's a BFRO group that does an expedition every October in Missouri. And one of these days I'm going to go on it. I actually was going to go 2 years ago, and I had to back out because one of my kids got sick, but one of these, I'm going to go one of these years. and they go to like far south, but where I had my encounter.
Yeah.
In that same area. They go down there and they've got some evidence out of there.
Yeah.
Nothing too elaborate, but they've got some evidence out of there and stuff like that. So one of these times I will go on that. So
yeah, well, there's a channel, and I forget it's the name of the channel. My gosh, but this guy's named Miguel. It's called Sasquatch. Okay. It ain't something Sasquatch, something a theory, I think. But anyway, he's from Missouri, and I was gonna be
I like
on
him already.
I was gonna be on the show. I'll figure out the name and send it to you. But I got his phone number, but I didn't. It was like a year ago, and before I got on any podcast, which I still might be on there. But what happened with me, it was just so brief, the podcast I have been on, I've told the other things that happened to me, because when I was a kid, I had a physical contact with something that was small. Some people call it the little people,
Okay,
and
I've heard of that.
When I was like 7 or 8 years old, something jumped on my back. And I thought my whole life that it was like a demon or imp or demonic. But I went to the bathroom and got up later and actually seen it running. It was real small. It was like a little creature. And, and then I knew it was real, but then I thought it was a dream, but it wasn't, because I remember getting up and trying to wake my mom up and all that. But anyway, that's why when I've had several things, man, happen to me, and I actually seen, I'll tell you this real quick, about 5 years ago, my ex-girlfriend, her nephew was raising her nephew. He's like 14, and he started telling us that something was talking in his ear that looked like her, his aunt, and telling him to do bad things, and he's a real sane kid. And finally, I'm not going down the religious part or nothing like that, but I talk freely on here. I was praying, about,
go ahead.
I was praying about it and everything, and God told me that he's got to denounce it. You can run it out of the house, because we had a lot of demonic things going there, but he's got to denounce it. I went to him. I said, you done something, didn't you? What would you do? You played with something. He said, I played with the Ouija board. So he went out of town, and when he went out of town, I felt something. I was in the bathroom, in this private bathroom, and we had like a curtain thing up. You could barely see through it, and it appeared in front of me, to the side, and it looked like the Grudge. It did, and it did look like her. And I said, what do you want?
Wow,
I'm waiting on him. And I said, no, you ain't. I started praying, and, it fled. But the same entity threw a lighter at her niece, because she come running out of the room like a couple months before that and said, why did you throw a lighter at me, Aunt? She said, I'm not throwing a lighter at you. I'm sitting right here. And she said, it looked just like you. So, yeah, he was playing with the Ouija board. He brought something in the house. So, yeah, I've had a lot of things go on like that in my life. But that's why that I know Bigfoot can be real if it's flesh and blood or the word. There's some kind of supernatural thing to it, man, even if it is flesh and blood. I believe. I mean,
hey, and I'm open to all of it. I really, and I'm open. Like, if I will listen, like, when it comes to Bigfoot, you can even throw politics and religion into there. I'll listen to anybody, like any of their theories and stuff like that. Because I to this day, like Bigfoot, it's still an unknown to me. I know he's there, but how he exists, I'm totally down to listen to any theories. And like a lot of the podcasts I listen to, I love listening to the different theories, because I think they're really interesting. Who knows? Maybe he's he's a government experiment by aliens. Who knows?
We just don't know. I mean, really, you don't know, because I've always been like this. Nothing surprises me. You know what I mean? In this world. Because there's a lot going on we don't understand. I mean, there's a lot going on that we don't understand. But
there's a lot.
Yeah. But anyway, Spartan, do you want to add anything before I end it? I do want to have you on here again, and I really would.
Let's do it again, man. If you want to do a more, if you want to talk again about cryptids, gaming, I could talk for gaming for hours. I do want to say, have you ever heard of the game called Bigfoot? Have you ever heard of that?
Yes, I tried to play it and it was just too janky,
Okay.
but he might have changed
It's pretty
it.
jank.
Yeah, yeah.
Well, one of these days, if you're interested,
Yeah.
you gotta jump in with me.
Yeah,
And
I'll do it.
I could bring my son with me. We can stream it too. He's really
Yeah.
good at it. He's really good at the Bigfoot game. But we gotta play it. It's a pretty fun game.
Yeah.
It's got some things that do pretty good towards Bigfoot, like some of the
Uh-huh.
actions that he does and stuff like that. But it's still a video game. You know, it's still
Yeah,
it's still like.
be
And there's
happy
another
to
one
play
called
with you.
Bigfoot Life.
Uh-huh.
But yeah, we gotta do it
Is there
sometime.
two different games, or are they the same one, or two?
There's a new game that just came out. There's a new one that just came out called Bigfoot Life, and it's more of a Bigfoot simulator.
Yeah.
It's a little on the jank side. It's a
Yeah.
little more, excuse me, it's a little more jank than the Bigfoot you've played.
Okay. Because
He needs a lot of polish. He needs a lot.
well, see, the one I played, it was like just dropped as a demo, so that's probably the reason why it was not, you know. And I tried to stream it, I had just had to
Probably.
cut the whole stream off. It was bad. And but it was like the day it dropped, you know, a Bigfoot demo. I mean, immediately I downloaded it, you know.
Let's go.
Yeah, but yeah, I'll be happy to do that with your Spartan, and I'll put your channel link in the description of the video and stuff. But you want to tell everybody where they can find you again? Remind them.
Yeah. You just hop on YouTube and search Spartan-85. Right now, I got a we're recording this Sunday, so tonight we're streaming Asylum mod for 7 Days to Die. I've been playing a lot of just vanilla 7 Days to Die. I've also been playing some every Wednesday night. We do a Vane multiplayer. There's 6 of us, and that's a fun game too. We're having a blast checking that game out. Talk about jank. That game is jank.
Yeah.
And yeah, I love to check out new survival games. I kind of get to the point. What's really nice about getting to a point of being a bigger creator. I don't really consider myself a big creator. I don't. But when you get to the point, devs start emailing you keys. They email you. They just email you, hey, will you check out my game? Check this out. And I get some that I load on Steam and I'm like, whoa, I cannot put this on my channel. Yeah. It's so far from polished. But I get some that are like, oh, this is cool. Like, I just played a game last week called Category 6, which is like you're trying to survive during a Category 6 hurricane, the first ever in the United States. So wow. I really love checking out new survival games. That's where I really enjoy, and new games in general. I love the horror genre of video games too. I really love that genre. So yeah, check me out on YouTube if you want. Jump into the live stream. We're kind of chill. We just hang out. Talk about life and stuff like that. And yeah.
Well, I appreciate it, man. Like I said, I need you're gonna definitely come back if you'll come back. So for
I'll come back. This is actually something I've always wanted to do, was a podcast. I've always wanted to do a podcast, and I love that you're doing this, man. This is awesome. So
hey, man, I appreciate it.
And I think you'll be going places, man. I really do. So
I don't know about that, but I'm enjoying it. I'm enjoying the ride. I mean, that's the main part. I really enjoy meeting people and creating new relationships. But hey, Spartan, I appreciate it. And everybody out there, make sure you check Spartan-85 out on YouTube. Go over there and give him a sub and a like and check him out. Yes. And he's great. 7 Days to Die. And he's just a chill, humble dude. So go check him out. But anyway, everybody out there, I appreciate you watching. Until next time, peace out, everyone.